The Defastenists, it originated about 4 years ago with just Gary and Ben Mullen thought up this name Defastenism, and then Alex Riley got involved, and he and Gary sort of really pushed it for about 2 years, and then after 2 years things started to happen. More people joined. I joined about I guess a year and a half ago. We've had a couple of exhibitions so far, expositions of obsessive and eccentric art.
Okay, this is the self-portrait that I did. It's a standard self-portrait, it's realist. This is the sort of work that I'm starting to do because I'm not interested in the abstract work anymore. And it's a self-portrait, there you go. What do I find embarrassing? Well, I'm not going to talk about that because then everybody else will find it embarrassing. The picture is called Elita, and it's kind of a take on sort of like communist kitsch from the 1920s and 30s, and in the film Elita it's about this alien who comes to save the communist people of Russia.
Porik, the Minister for Propaganda and Attire, has just brought out an amazing newspaper. It's really good. Very much relates to, I guess it sort of relates to this propaganda, fascist play stuff. But I think it's a play. You know, there is that element in it, but it's a play. And what happens in a group of people on a small level, you could just blow it up, you know, to the size of a country. And you can see all these how these personal dynamics, you know, can become big political dynamics or even wars, or, you know, I think the whole thing is interesting as a play. But, you know, it has to be understood as that it is a play. It's a drawing by Wilhelm von Rijn from 1905. He's probably, you know, another one of my influences besides Dali and Kandinsky. And he was in a group called Losbildung Kunst, and it's one of the movements sort of forgotten about in modernism, and it needs to unfasten.
Okay, this painting, it's another automatic painting. In some ways it just represents the fragmentation of culture and of...
It's a painting of Paris Hilton in a sort of a 1950s Irish background. I think it's Mallow. It's a pretty kitsch painting. I guess if you didn't know it was Paris Hilton, it'd make for a kitsch painting certainly as well, but it's painted very formally in sort of a way that relates to sort of a kind of art that wasn't considered kitsch, you know. So there's a tension between the way it's painted and, you know, what it means.
Out of all, like, the visual arts, I think painting is the strongest because to paint is kind of like really beyond technology, and technology doesn't interfere with the painting unless you're using some sort of like photographic source or you're working in Photoshop. But to paint is a human thing, and while technology changes and gets better, painting will always remain the same. So therefore, painting kind of captures some state of eternity, which nothing else can.
Are you ready now?